Recently, we covered an article about some Ukrainian douchebags beating up their neighbor, right? The old lady.
Oh, that was crazy!
And they buried her alive.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't here for that.
You weren't here, yeah. So,
damn.
Quick recap, you can check out that video. Ukrainian bad guys said, hey neighbor, you've been mean to us. And they bat, 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 bat. And then they took her and buried her.
Alive. And then she's so
made her-
buff, she fucking broke out of that shit, climbed out, and then she took a nap when she got home.
They also made her dig her own grave.
Yeah.
They beat her for hours. Yeah, they broke her ribs, like her jaw.
But I wanted to see the other guys because she looked like a football player.
Yeah, she looked tough.
She looked
And so
like
she put up a
Arnold way
fight.
out.
She put up a fight, for sure.
She looks like she digs deep.
So then did they get arrested or anything? What happened?
He got arrested.
Okay.
Is this an update?
Spoilers.
This is not an update. This is a Chinese remake of that story. So now imagine.
Chinese lady beat the shit out of some
It's like
dudes.
dubbed over.
Yeah, it's dubbed over, exactly. They've been recasted all together. So instead of the two Ukrainian bad guys, it's a Chinese son.
It's an all-Asian cast, that's nice.
All Asian cast.
The son beat up the mom.
He didn't do the beating up because the mom didn't need to be immobilized through violence. The mom is a paralyzed mom.
And he buried her alive?
Oh my
Yes.
god. Oh. I was gonna be like, how is she gonna dig her own grave if she's paralyzed?
She couldn't.
He didn't follow the script.
Was he just sick of her? Like,
And she army crawled out.
No, she got rescued.
Yay.
Three days
That's
later, so
good.
it's a happy story.
Wait, so she stayed alive for 3 days?
For 3 days, she was calling for help. And I think, oh no, actually the wife was like, where's your mom at? And then eventually they were able to track it down and find the burial place, and they dug her back up, and there's a video of this.
His wife was like, okay, I don't think this is working out anymore.
Yeah. If you're willing to do this to your mom.
how bad are these criminals with burying people?
I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty deep.
How the fuck did she stay alive?
Holy shit.
For 3 days? What did she eat?
What are they saying?
Weird dialect.
Oh my gosh. They gotta lift her like that, and she was just buried without any structure around her?
I don't think so.
Holy smokes.
It's not a graveyard.
How do you breathe?
Sounds hella northern Chinese, almost like Mongolian.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, this is definitely like a very rural area. Yeah, she does move a little bit. She's like partly paralyzed, so like you can see that she's like.
Why are people burying people so like what, at least kill her?
At least kill her. The protocols in America compared to other countries, they just lift her up hella crazy, put a rag over her.
They just left her there. What do you want to do with her?
And I was like, what do we do now?
Deep ass hole.
Yeah, one son dug that up and buried his mom.
I like how nobody was like, hey lady, you alright? They're just like, oh goddamn, this is crazy. Let's just cover up in a blanket. What do you guys want to do, Bob?
Named Bob?
Chinese Bob. Chinese Bow. Hey Bow, what the hell, man?
So apparently the son, who's 58 years old.
58?
Well, the mom is 79.
Damn. She should have, she was probably nagging too much.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Perhaps. Or maybe the son's just being a dick and doesn't want to tend to his paralyzed mom and thought, you know what, maybe if I just
Killed her.
But you don't know how nagging some ladies can be.
True.
And then you gotta wipe her ass.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, true.
This is fucking crazy. Like, she stayed alive at how old is she?
79 years.
No water, no food for 3 days fucking straight. She deserves to survive, dude.
No coffee?
Yeah, no.
I could never.
Because my grandma had Alzheimer's, right? And then she was constantly complaining. And since I was just there to visit, like here and there, I thought it was super funny and I thought it was really enjoyable and charming. But I look at like the look on my mom, who's been taking care of her for a couple of years, and then just like the 24-hour help that they hired. I'm like, damn, I can see why people just throw some in like a senior home, because it's just non-stop complaining over and over and over and over again.
Well, especially with Alzheimer's, they don't even know what they're, they have no awareness.
And not just the complaining, man, there's just other things too, like if they fucking poo-poo themselves, or if there's like, they wake up in the middle of the night and turn on the stove and start cooking, or like there's a lot of things.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, because when my grandma was getting that stuff, like we try to keep her in the house as much as possible, but shit goes crazy, man.
Yeah, my grandma would be sitting there and she's like, ah, shit, I need a shit. And then so she's not paralyzed. But
I need a shit.
So we have these two like caretakers. They come and they immediately grab her and then she's like, hurry, because she doesn't feel like she's gonna make it on the toilet.
Oh my god.
So she's like, hurry, I'm gonna shit myself. And then halfway to the bathroom, I think she has an episode. She was like, get the fuck off me! Who the fuck are you guys? And so she pushes him off.
She doesn't need to shit anymore.
She falls on the ground because she pushed him off.
It's like a drunk person.
Because she can't remember that she
needed a shit.
Yeah.
So she falls on the ground. She starts crying because like her hips are all weak, whatever. She starts crying, and then she does shit herself because the body is still biological.
Yeah.
The body still remembers.
Yeah.
I gotta shit. Did you forget?
Yeah, so she shit herself, and then she comes back, and she goes, how can you guys just abandon the old lady on the ground like this and let me shit myself? And
So she forgot.
Yeah, and the workers are just like, oh my god, and now they gotta carry her back in, and I'm just looking.
Change her.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like the whole to me it's funny as fuck because I watch from the outside. When I watch my mom and like just the amount of it's just like, oh, so I can like when my mom is at my grandma's house, at the end of the day when like it's like 7 or 8, she goes back to her house in Taiwan and she finally goes, oh. I'm like, oh shit,
and it's their own mom. I think it's easier when you're the grandkid.
Yeah.
When it's your own mom.
I don't know. It was pretty hard for me when my grandma got Alzheimer's because she's a young grandma, so she's always been like way younger and cooler. She used to borrow my clothes and stuff.
Grandma borrowed your clothes?
Yeah. She was 44 when I was born. And so she was like young and hip and like she'd always try to barter with me. She'd be like, what if I trade you my jeans for those jeans? I'm like, these jeans are expensive, Grandma. And she's like, you little shit. I'm gonna steal those. And she'd like, she was fun. And then she just lost her mind. Like she got Alzheimer's really early.
So yeah, it's like you had 2 moms.
Yeah, and then she would like be eating dog shit and then you're like, don't. And they were like,
where did she get dog shit
like
from?
she had dogs and then like she would randomly like go have an episode. She'd be like, you see this? And she'd start eating it. And she'd be like, don't eat that. She'd like, get off of me. I don't know you. I don't like, let me eat.
Don't steal my goodies.
Yeah.
That's my caca.
And
Did she actually eat it? Did you?
Yes.
You stop her before she does?
Yeah.
Or she actually.
Well, no. Like my grandpa would try to stop her because she trusted my grandpa, and she always think that I was trying to hit on my grandpa and try to steal him from her. And she also was in love with my brother and like all of her grandkids' sons. She was like kind of a flirt when she was younger, and so in her mind, she's high school age. And
that's why she wanted your clothes.
She's like, you see these boys? They're mine. I got dibs on them.
That's cute
like
and
all her
creepy
grandkids
at the same time.
And then she thought my dad was trying to steal everything from her house because he was brown.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, Alzheimer's is crazy, man.
I don't know. She saw me as definitely a threat, though, that I was trying to steal her man. And like, because I came with my brother too, and she's like, that's mine. She's like, I got dibs already.
How old was she when this was happening?
It started when she was, I think, like before her 60th birthday. Wow. She was young, man. And it happened like where we didn't realize that she had Alzheimer's. Like because at first she was just forgetting things. She was just telling the same story over and over. Like so.
It's old people shit.
Yeah, like my mom does that. Like I do that sometimes. Steve fucking does that. So,
I think we all do.
Yeah, we're like, whatever, that's not
Tell all
Alzheimer's.
the same stories on JustKiddingNews all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So then that wasn't a big deal. But then she started like forgetting people's names, and that wasn't a big deal either because that happens if you have
I do it now.
Kids. And then she started forgetting words, like actual words for things, like where she would call like a shoe, like, hey, I gotta get my clowns. And they were like, what are you talking about? She's like, my clowns. And then she'd like, clowns. And then we're like, that's a shoe. And she'd get embarrassed because then she'd remember that that's not what it was called. And then it happened, she was just yelling at her own reflection, saying that there was an old lady in the bathroom that was like,
oh fuck,
stealing all her stuff. And then it was like, whoa, she has Alzheimer's.
I don't know if I could emotionally take it if my mom had.
Awful.
I think that's that's what the old people homes are for, right?
If it's for grandparents, it's hilarious, but
It is pretty
but when it's your own mom, it's tough.
My grandma was like, I have a boyfriend. And I'm like, who is it? I thought it was one of the old geezers she was with. It's just like, that guy. And I'm like, the worker? Because we had a special moment. And I'm like, what happened? She goes, he bathed me. And I'm all like, what the fuck? That's what they're supposed to do. I guess for her it was sensual, you know? It was like romantic.
Especially if you can't remember why you're in there.
Oh, true.
I picture her saying all this while she has that breather thing in her nose. He bathed me, and it was sexy.
Can you imagine being that worker? You're like just trying to do your job and cleaner, and she's like getting all turned on.
Dude, old people are horny.
Hell yeah.
Do they have hands? Do old people have hands, you think? Or do they
Do they have hands?
Like, do they get handsy, I mean? Like, do they...
I heard they grow up.
Oh, yeah,
their hands disappear.
Yeah, they have hands, and they just fall off, you know, at a certain age.
I hate that age where your hands go away.
I thought you meant as in like a boxer. Like, oh, I forgot hands.
Oh, yeah, handsy. Did they
I don't know. If they didn't box when they're young, I don't think they box later.
So you're trying to fight an old person?
By that age, if you guys are still alive, please shoot me.
If you have Alzheimer's?
Oh man, what's the point of? I mean, unless you guys can profit off of me and you're like, this
Make videos?
Yeah,
You
dude.
need to sign an
exploit me. I don't give a fuck.
we can do this.
If I'm useless,
This is evidence, right?
By the time I'm useless, like if I can't give joy to the world anymore and I'm just a bag of fucking potatoes, shoot me like a motherfucker.
You don't want to eat doo-doo?
If it's for entertainment.
Yeah.
I want to wrestle.
Some money to your estate, and then we keep the rest of the money.
We're the same age, right? So me and Bart, if we both have Alzheimer's, we can both fight over doo-doo like it's gold.
It'll be like your old JK skits. So we'll revive JK films, but you guys will think that you're normal, but you're actually your characters.
Oh, shit.
There's this facility right here in Downey where they're trying to do this whole like era thing, like to help people with their long-term memory with Alzheimer's and all that. And so they'll have things of their youth, like 50s themed like restaurants and all that.
That's tight.
Yeah, and it's been helping people with Alzheimer's like remember things and their memory's improving and they're working their mind. And it's like when they're in an area where they feel like familiar with like the decor and the era and the people, then it makes them use their mind to like I guess like activate some part that helps them remember short-term stuff. Because they're not in an element where they're like, what the fuck is this? And like half of their life is anxiety now. Yeah. But then if they're in a comfortable place and they're like, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. You know, with that said, we're living in that time for us then. This is what we are experiencing right now is that era for us. Like, so
that way to think back to?
Yeah, what's gonna make us comfortable is to think back to
You know what's crazy is like 80s music is oldies.
80s is oldies now, yeah.
Yeah, 80s
weird.
music is oldies.
That's considered oldies?
Yeah.
It's not just considered 80s? Wow.
2000s? That 2000s is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels weird because I could remember 20 years ago.
In the 90s, 50s music is oldies, right? So that's 40 years prior. So 40 years ago was the 80s.
It's not based on the technology of music that classifies it?
I don't know. I think of the generations that have passed since.
40 years ago is 80s.
Because I picture it's the music. Like if it sounds like a old school record, then I'm like, oh, that's oldies. Like you can hear the
right, the crackling.
I don't think like do 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 do. I don't think that's 80s. I'm not thinking of
Ask a
oldies.
Generation Z kid, and they'll probably think that's fucking old as hell.
Right.
They probably never.
But it's digital sounds.
Because it like to us, maybe that was like the equivalent of us hearing like 76 trombones lead the big parade. Maybe that's like a different era.
Yeah.
That's beyond oldie. Think about Back to the Future.
Exactly.
He only traveled 30 years back, and he was like, oh shit, this is different.
Yeah, that would be the 90s.
Oh, right.
Back to the Future, travel back to the past today.
Yeah.
30 years. That would be 1990.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy though. My high school, like if you type in my high school, they have like some kid just back then brought a video camera to school and was filming like I think like the 1980s or 1990s. And it looks so fucking weird. Everyone was wearing those puffy jackets. Everyone had mullets.
Big ass hair.
Yeah. Scrunchies, big old scrunchies.
Yeah, it literally looked like it was a movie, like out of Greece or something. And that's just how everyone dressed. And I was like, what?
Have you guys seen on YouTube just like walkthroughs of cities and just some people upload footage of like old fucking black and white interviews of Great Depression people.
Oh shit! I never gone that far back. I got sucked into one where they're interviewing some kid in Boston in the 80s, and fuck, it's a fucking trip. Everyone, the cars, but it's like just like voyeuristic. And it's just some guy walking through the streets, and you really feel, you know, like part of that life.
That's why vlogs are cool, because people could actually look back and like
so
see
much of our evidence now.
Yeah.
On YouTube.